So I kind of noticed this year, I would say that I've become a bit of a Grinch. It's funny to put it like that, but I think that I generally just have had, over the past 3 years, a disillusionment, as one might say, to Christmas and the holidays. And so I was Googling, trying to figure out like when exactly like Christmas became so commercialized, because I mean obviously the Christmas that we know today hasn't been like that. But one thing that was really notable that I didn't see is that it was really hard to find like a credible mainstream news source that talked about the commercialization of Christmas. Now, maybe I just didn't go through enough pages, but I didn't see any articles by the New York Times, by the Miami Herald or whatever, the Chicago Tribune. I didn't see anything. And I wonder why that is. You know, Christmas, it's kind of a weird time. Like, people always say, you know, Christmas is a pagan holiday, and that various cultures observe the winter solstice and they would have like end of the year celebrations and stuff like that. And then the Christians, of course, were like, hey, no, we need to try and make this as much about Jesus as possible, because obviously, you know, they're forcing religion down everybody's throats during those times. In the 1800s, a lot of businesses in America saw the commercial opportunities here, and so they would have celebrations and, you know, try to say like, oh, for this winter solstice or whatever they called it back then, get your child a toy, give the gift of giving to your family. So, you know, one source had mentioned that Christmas used to be like an outdoor celebration, like a parade and party in the streets and all this kind of stuff. And then they turned it into being like something you celebrate in your home with your family through giving gifts to children and buying food and having a feast and all this kind of stuff. Skip ahead to Macy's getting involved and having their first parade in 1924. Macy's had a big hand in commercializing, corporatizing Christmas. So that's kind of just like the general backstory, I guess. But like, yeah, growing up, for me, Christmas was obviously my favorite holiday. Well, maybe not so obvious, but it was my favorite holiday. I liked, obviously, getting gifts. I liked giving gifts. Although, when I think back, I usually probably didn't give that great of gifts, but I was a kid. What do you want me to say? You know how Walmart would have those little $5 or $10 gift sets that's like a soap and like bath stuff and like whatever, cologne trial or hot chocolate trial, those kind of things as a gift for my dad or a family or whatever. I would definitely say that the older I got, the more Christmas started to fade, because obviously you're not getting as many gifts as when you get older. And also from the time when I was a kid, which was in the 90s to early 2000s, the economy has changed so much. You know, I remember Christmases with my family, but they would wrap stuff individually instead of together, so that it was like you had more gifts. You know, the gifts would be all the way out to the freaking door. Like really far away from the tree. It was just like abundance. You know, a lot of great memories, a lot of good specific gifts that, you know, when your parents surprise you. When my dad got me a guitar, well, he got me a guitar because he really tricked me. You know, you have those good memories and stuff. But I think as time went on, like, obviously the economy changed and you couldn't buy as much Christmas gifts as the year before and the year before that. The economy changed, and I honestly feel like we haven't recovered since around 2008, which was so strange because, you know, I spent all my life, you know, when I moved to Delaware, and we would always go to New York every weekend for the summers, for holidays, and then we couldn't go anymore. Couldn't go out to eat as much. We didn't take, you know, those trips and stuff like that like we were doing before. I never felt like I grew up with lack of anything, like in terms of like basic needs and stuff. I didn't really feel it until around, like 2006, 2007. I didn't have internet, when I didn't have a computer at home, when I didn't have cable for a while and everybody's watching shows and I haven't seen anything. So I don't think it's just me. Like, I think my whole generation, really, millennial generation, we are like the disillusionment generation, okay? We're the ones that, quote unquote, okay, get offended about everything, but we're the ones that also, I feel, are calling out this BS for what it really is. Well, boomers were kind of born into it and they perpetuated it, and they're like, oh, this is how things are, so we're just gonna keep going with how things are. But by the time you get to us, we're like, all this is kind of like fucked up. But like where we are in life, we're not really able to do anything about it. We're doing certain things, like a lot of us are understanding the system, like, oh, we don't like the way this powerful person is moving, we're not going to support them with our money. We're not doing it across the board as, you know, a collective all the way, but we're making a lot of steps, calling out people's bad behavior, calling out companies' bad behavior. But I do feel like a lot of us are still playing into the system. We're not fully unplugged. I'm pretty unplugged, but a lot of us are not. My generation has a general disillusionment that we see that all of this stuff is fake. We know that the powers that be are controlling this effed up system, but we're continuing to suffer from it. We're not actually doing anything to change it. Like, it would take some seriously radical, like, disobedience in order to really change things, that I don't know if we're ever going to do that. I've been doing it privately by myself, but it's going to take like a whole group of people to privately do it, whatever. Just before Halloween, I would go into Home Depot and saw all they brought out the Christmas trees and the Christmas mats and the lights and the wreaths and the centerpieces and all the stuff. And it's just like, I don't know, like sometimes I'm just like, what is this? Like, am I in the Twilight Zone? Like, it's just one big scam and scheme. I can't tell if it's just because of my generation and like the enlightenment and the calling shit out that we do, or if I'm just old enough just to see through the bullshit, like see the attempted manipulation to get me to buy things or to think that this thing is like super important or something when it's really not. I haven't heard anybody say anything about Black Friday, and I tried. I mean, I only made one post, but it had like no views, so I'm like, okay, this is dead. But I was trying to start a movement. I wanted to cancel Black Friday and Cyber Monday. All right, guys, I'm tired of seeing these videos. I'm tired of seeing the compilations of all the poor people. I'm tired of being poor myself. I'm tired of us talking about it and not actually doing anything. So I've been kind of thinking, like, for a while, what do we need to do? What needs to be done? Ideally, what I would say was that we need to pick one business a month or one business a week and not like patronize them. Ideally, that would be the best thing. But I think that what we need to do, that I think we could all get together on, is that we need to cancel Black Friday. I know, the holidays is a sensitive time. A lot of people might feel like this is the only time that they have, you know, time with their family and stuff like that. But we can't keep sitting around talking about how much everything costs, how expensive it is, and then literally go to those businesses and patronize them. A lot of these businesses have their hands in other pots. You know, Walmart is not just Walmart. Walmart is sponsoring this and that and that and that and those housing and this. And these companies are all interconnected, and we know that these companies are, you know, it's the golden rule. Whoever has the gold makes the rules. So I think everyone needs to go on protests, okay, and not shop on Black Friday. Black Friday is canceled. Everyone, you know, needs to cut back in these times. And you know what? You want to get your kids something really nice, okay? First of all, we need to stop being materialistic in general, but why don't you give your kids a different kind of gift? Like, give them a nice experience. Take them somewhere to really have fun, and then maybe get them one really nice gift, you know what I mean?
but to, you know, keep complaining about all these companies, and then we go and we spend, you know, $2,000 that we don't have on holiday food, and then freaking $2,000 more on Christmas gifts and stuff like that, on worthless stuff that doesn't mean anything, doesn't do anything, you know, worthless toys that don't even enrich your kids. Maybe, you know, think of something more thoughtful. It's not about the amount of gifts, but the type of gift. Something more thoughtful, something that may help you bring you and your kid together. Maybe a trip or an experience or something. But we have to cancel Black Friday. Can we have, what, 3 weeks now? Can we please cancel Black Friday? I'm going to make a couple more posts about this and hope that it catches on. But as of right now, in this house, Black Friday is canceled. I don't care about the deal. You can find the deals any other time. Black Friday is canceled. Black Friday is now Red Friday. Okay.
I wanted everyone to say we're not shopping, we're not buying anything. I think it kind of just happened anyway because people just can't afford to go out and buy stuff. And then down here in Florida too, it's not as intense and hot. In the north, they are really scamming. Like, they're really using like snow and fall to really like hawk, like, it's like you can't fake the fall winter wonderland thing down here. I guess it just doesn't hit as hard because last year I saw a lot more Christmas lights and stuff up, but they didn't even do much of that, like downtown Fort Lauderdale and stuff. I mean, there is stuff, but it was like last year it was a lot more. Maybe they don't have the budget for it this year or whatever, but like my cousin the other day sent me a picture of her Christmas tree and I was like, oh, you know, maybe I'll get into the Christmas spirit and put up just a band of lights around the window. And it's like, why would I do that? For who? I mean, I love neon lights, so I mean, I would enjoy it in that respect, but put it in the window for other people to enjoy. Why would I do that? Buy this thing that then I also have to keep in my house. It's one more thing in my house. Raise my light bill. When Christmas time comes around, let me tell you, FPL and Con Ed, them electric companies is like, that's all I can think of. They're fucking Birdman rubbing their hands together. It just seems like so wasteful. And like now, because I've been super strapped, counting every single dollar and dime and seeing where it goes, you just see the colossal waste of what this holiday, you know, takes from people. And, you know, think about Christmas trees. Like, people that buy Christmas trees, they go to the fucking forest. They cut down thousands of Christmas trees. They sell them to people for $200. And they have them up for a month. And then they throw them in the garbage. When I think about that, I'm just like, I don't know. I start to disassociate a little bit. Like, I start to depersonalize, derealize. Because I'm like, what is this? What is this? Like, right now I'm in a shopping center. What is all of this? Like, does anybody else feel like that? Does anybody else go through those moments when you're like, what is this? Like, why am I in this society? Like, it's just like all this setup, it means nothing. It's for nothing. And I'm stressing myself and I'm crying and I'm hurt and I'm struggling in this thing set up by some people who I don't know, and I'm like forced to participate in this thing or else I cannot survive. I hate to get like, no, I don't even hate to get, these are things I think about. But another thing about Christmas that, you know, I feel made me look at Christmas differently was obviously losing my dad. It's like, once I lost my dad, it was like went way down. And also the relationship between me and my family, like my greater family, like, you know, it changed. The houses that I grew up going to and stuff, a lot of them are gone, you know, sold, moved. A lot of the people that I used to, let's say, go visit when I was younger, I don't go there anymore. I don't speak to those people anymore. By choice. This idea of like family and this and that is like, okay, it's great. Now, I'm trying to build my own family. I'm trying, okay? Trying to have my own community of friends and people and family and stuff like that. But it's like that whole idea of family growing up, the one that they pushed on us, is just like, it's just not reality. Why go somewhere where you feel uncomfortable? Why go somewhere where people make fun of you? Why go somewhere where people question you or criticize you? Why do that? My relationship with my family changed, and so it's the holidays just continue to lose its meaning. Well, I think I have a single figurine from my father's house when I moved out of my family home and moved to Florida. I think maybe I have 1 or 2 little Christmas figurines that are put away that I only kept them because they just remind me of like my dad and stuff like that. That was another thing, is that when I cleaned out that house, there were so many things. There were tons of Christmas gifts. Even boxes of like, those multi-packs that I was talking about earlier, perfume, cologne, whatever, those type of things. Throwing out those things. Getting rid of stuff, giving away clothes that was never worn. I can't tell you how many clothes I threw out because, I just had somebody buy me clothes, and it's not like they don't know you as a person, they don't know your style, they don't know what you like or anything like that. I remember being a little girl and getting some really ugly dresses that I never wore from family, like big poofy like stuff. I'm like a 9, 10, 11. I'm like, I'm not wearing this shit. So it's just like the colossal waste from Christmas is really something to behold. I've done Instacart, to try and make ends meet and stuff. I've been doing it. And I go in there and, I have people making orders, trying to order a tree or this, that, just to have something for a party or something like that. It's like I have to have this thing in my house in order to have a party, okay, I'm getting too meta again. Okay, the ornaments, when I would look for the stuff was just so cheap. Like, it was so cheap, so poorly made, plastic, just crap. Like, literally crap. I know for a fact a lot of quality of things has gone down, but I don't know if the quality of this stuff has gone down, because when I touch it, I'm just like, this is just cheap plastic crap that just ends up broken or falling apart or gets thrown away, or they use it for this one thing and throw it away. And don't get me wrong, I shop at Shein, okay? So I'm not like, oh, I gotta have the new trends. I shop at Shein because that's all I can afford right now. I try to take care of my stuff and wear it for as long as possible. It's just like, it's hard not to see the colossal waste. And now, after Christmas, what's gonna happen? Then they're gonna start revving up for Valentine's Day. Oh, now it's Valentine's Day. We got the hearts, we got the teddy bears, we got the this, the that. And then what's that? Then it's gonna be Memorial Day. Let's bring out the flags, let's bring out the barbecues, let's bring out the this. Oh, 4th of July, let's bring out the hats and the glasses and the sparkly dresses for New Year's. They're gonna do all the things. And I do have a caveat with that, because there's something on my mind when I talk about like Valentine's Day. I think it's fine to buy your family gifts. I think it's fine to buy your kids gifts. But I think that there needs to be thought behind it. And it needs to not be like, oh, we need to just buy them as much stuff as possible just so it looks like they have a ton of things to do. Like, I feel like you should focus on making your child like a well-rounded person and like giving them really good experiences, like expanding their mind and stuff like that. I don't mean to be a downer about it. It doesn't sound sexy, but I feel like that's going to be better for them, like in the long run. And also, when it comes to Valentine's Day and stuff, like doing something nice for your partner, your boyfriend, your husband, spouse. Okay, because I've dealt with this in the past, like a guy I'm dating not putting in that effort to do something nice on Valentine's Day, do something nice for Christmas, and now here I am talking about the commercialization and how it's just a big sham. I think that my mind has changed on that. For Valentine's Day, if my partner did nothing for me because of, let's say, my belief system, how would I feel about that? I feel like we would have to talk. It would depend on him and me as a person. I think the problem is this: if you don't do something for your partner on Christmas and Valentine's Day, because, okay, let's say you don't believe in it, fine. But what about the rest of the time? Do you get them something on another day? Do you go above and beyond the call of duty for them any other time? If the answer is no, which it has been for me in the past, and then you also don't do anything on Christmas, Valentine's Day, anniversary, whatever, I don't think that's right. And I don't think it's feeding into commercialization to say, maybe do something special for your partner on some kind of, even if not Valentine's Day, like anniversary. Let's say your anniversary is that day, like, you know, or like your partner's birthday is that day, you want to spoil them or something like that. Or hell, y'all could pick your own damn holiday, like, hey, let's just be couples day, you know, every year it's my special day, you gotta do something. I don't know, there's no rules to this, but I just want to say, I don't think it's bad to like want gifts or whatever, like, you know, but I feel like you have to think about, what is the reason, what's the intent, what is the purpose? Like, is it a lack of, like, does your partner show you appreciation? Or do you just want to be able to post something like, oh, look, he did this for me, or she did this for me? But yeah, definitely moving out of my family home and having to throw out so much stuff. My father passed away, and this was what he left behind. And then I had to leave, and my brother left, and this is what we left behind. And having to clean it up and get rid of it, which took months. It took months. You don't realize really how much stuff you have in your house until you're moving. I would be all day going through stuff, making bags, throwing stuff out, donating, and I would look back and it would look like I didn't touch anything. So it's like, I can't help but think of like the colossal waste from this holiday, keeping bins and boxes and tons of crap, garage or your basement or whatever. And then forget about other holidays. There's people that decorate every holiday, or change their living room hues and colors every freaking, it's just like, I wish we would stop with that shit. Oh my god, I wish we would stop. Don't get me wrong, I've decorated my house and bought stuff from little knickknacks, and I have knickknacks and stuff like that. We will never be free if we don't cut back. If I have a family, if I have children, if I have a husband, how would I deal with Christmas? I don't know where I'm at right now. It's hard to tell, baby. If it was up to me, ideally, I would love to give the kids an experience. Instead of buying them 50 different toys that they lose interest in really fast, you know, maybe take them on experience. Skiing, snowboarding, sledding, cabin, Caribbean, I don't know, something. Watch some movies together, puzzles, games, you know, really spending time with each other during this time. I don't have all the answers. I'm just like a stream of conscious ranting here right now at this point. You know, who knows? Maybe if I have a house and I have a big empty corner, like one year I'll just want to buy and put a Christmas tree in that bitch. I don't know. I feel very, like I said, disillusioned by it. I don't like feeling like a corporation is getting over on me. I want people to obviously enjoy the holidays. Sometimes people might feel like, oh, this is all one time I get to enjoy family and spoil my family and stuff like that. Don't wait for the end of the year to do that, because everybody... Shit. Oh, shit. Don't wait to the end of the year to do that, because everybody doesn't make it to Christmas, okay? Everybody doesn't make it to Christmas. Don't wait to the end of the year to spend time with family and stuff like that. Like, we don't have to participate in this game system, whatever this weird thing is. I want people to think about, you know, all the food and stuff like that, like spending, you know, fucking $700 on groceries this year. God, some people probably spent $1,000 on groceries this year. Waiting until Christmas to cook for your family and get together. Buying the one-off toys like, you know, slime or an easy bake oven, these kind of gifts that's like you use it once and it's fucking useless after that. I think people should be more conscious about the types of gifts they get their kids. I don't have a kid, so I can't really, I'm just imagining or hoping what I could do. I think that it's bad to, let's say, teach kids materialism. I grew up that way. It's a negative effect. A lot of us are affected by it. We're crushed by things, all the things and the clutter and the I need. I want. Sometimes I tell Khalil, I'm like, yo, I want something. And she's like, what? And I'm like, I don't know. I just want some shit. Like, you ever just be like, I want something. I want. Like, sometimes it'll be like, oh, I want chocolate, or I want ice cream, or I want. Like, I want, and then you just go to a store and you just buy something because you just have like this wanting, like, just, I feel like that's very much an American thing. Like, you always just wanting some shit. You always just want. It's like, oh, that wanting shit is like, it's fucking debilitating. I think people should reconsider, for the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas. Like, like I said, spending $1,000 on food. You can cook a nice meal for your family. Like, you don't have to break the bank. You don't have to feed into this system that's fucking everybody. You can make a nice meal, 2 meats, 2 carbs, 2 vegetables. It doesn't have to be, like I said, all this stuff. And I mean, usually the food, it's not like it goes to waste or anything, but it's just like the overconsumption is just really, really not good. It's not good for anybody. Definitely not propelling it on to the next generation. When I have a family, if I have a family, type of gifts that I would get my kids, definitely not be something that, that they lose interest in. It would be, like art supplies, coloring books, large puzzles, video game system, because, stuff that they can continually enjoy. Not like I play with this toy and then I put it together and then it's over. Arts and crafts, maybe a cookbook. Let them learn how to cook or something. Like board games, multiplayer games that the whole family can participate in. I feel like also being down here added to the disillusionment. Up until 2016, I had never spent a Christmas out of New York or Delaware. At that point, I was 26 years old, and so I didn't know the whole not winter wonderland, cold, I mean, one year we did have the screen door open on Christmas. That shit was crazy, but I did not know that. And so being in Barbados for Christmas was definitely it was weird. Like, they had decorations and stuff like that some places, but it was definitely weird to be Christmas but in a hot climate. I feel like that really kind of like broke the fantasy. And then also being down here, this will be my second Christmas down here. It helps me, I guess, see it for what it is. And I'm sure, plenty of people, they love Christmas and they love their tree and their decorations and they want to do all that stuff, and that's fine. Do whatever you want, but I'm just talking about like my personal view, obviously, and how Christmas and other holidays, to me, they just don't hit the same. And I don't like the larger problem that it represents. I know a lot of people feel like, dang, what joys do we have left in the world if we don't have Christmas? You don't need Christmas for joy. You can literally do all this stuff throughout the year. Spoil your family throughout the year, okay? Spoil them with time, attention, and the gifts too, when you want. Just like participate in this whole like circus, and then it's like after January, turn the Christmas music off, throw all the plastic stuff away. All right, let's bring the red hearts and the pink teddy bears out. That's what I have an issue with. If you're still here, congrats, you're a fool. No, I'm just kidding. Just a little thought I just wanted to talk about and get off my chest. There'll be a lot more videos like this as I think of things. But yeah, let me know how you guys feel about Christmas. Is it your favorite holiday? What's your favorite holiday? And if Christmas has changed for you in any way since you were a kid, do you look at it differently? So anyway,